Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, for the first time after a very long time, Uhuru was seen with Ruto.
Thank you.
The big question here is the bromance that was seen between the two people. Of course, that cannot indicate that Uhuru will support Ruto. No, that's not enough proof that he's going to support Ruto. But if you look at the video, the bromance, you look at these two gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, there's something more than what meets the eyes. And we are going to look at the video extensively and analyze it with you. But one thing that you need to understand is that Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa was there. But again, the AU chair, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, was also in attendance. Now, you look at these two individuals, Uhuru there, Ruto there, Mahmoud Yusuf there, the SADC chair, Emmerson Mnangagwa, also there. Of course, you know that this is all about the DRC conflict. Now, we are also going to look at that part also. But first and foremost, before we explore this story further, kindly like this video, subscribe to our channel, and to our existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. Now, if I may first of all take you through some of the development here, you know, the issue of DRC and Rwanda, bado ni vita ambazo zinaendelea. Vita ambazo hazijakuwa solved. Now, we have SADC here. SADC for the South African part. Then we have the EAC. And you know that the chair of EAC currently is William Samoei Ruto. Now, this meeting, the AU meeting, matters DRC conflict, coming at a time whereby Museveni had jetted out of the country. So that the big question is, what was talked about there? I am now beginning to understand why Museveni rushed to Kenya a day before this meeting. Remember the interest of Museveni in Rwanda and the interest of William Samoei Ruto in DRC. There's a particular time whereby Ruto was accused of owning a huge parcel of land in DRC Congo. You know that about that story, the maize issue. Now, because Museveni has close ties with Rwanda, and this meeting was all about to de-escalate the feud between Rwanda and the DRC. So now I understand why Museveni had to rush to Kenya. The biggest reason could have been to talk to Ruto and have a stand, the East African community stand on this feud between Rwanda and DRC. But of course, we all remember that Samia Suluhu failed to show up. She didn't come to Kenya during that visit. It was only Museveni. But if this meeting, the DRC peace talk, is coming a day after Museveni has left Kenya, then we can as well say that this has some connection with that visit. Now, let's look at it again. Previously, you saw the move that Trump made, the move to have some, arrangement with the DRC.
Claimed the lives of thousands and thousands, but today the violence and destruction comes to an end, and the entire region begins a new chapter of hope and opportunity, harmony, prosperity, and peace.
Because there's an issue of there's a border dispute up. Alafu kuna wale masoja wako DRC ambao inasemekana wanaambiwa kwamba wao ni wa Rwanda. Rwandese wanasema hao ni DRC. But it's just like, let's say for example in Kenya, where we have Somalis, and you decide to say Somalis are supposed to go back to their Somali country. And then the president in Somalia says that, no, those people are born and brought up in Kenya. They are Kenyans. So it's just the same way with what is happening between DRC and Rwanda. The occupants in DRC, some of them are Rwandese. But again, the issue here is that they are supposed to go back to Rwanda, according to the president of DRC. But the president of Rwanda is saying that, no, these are people born and brought up in DRC. So they are members of Congo. I mean, that is what is happening. And that brought about this talk whereby the AUC chair is also part of it, talking about Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, to try to have some input into finding basic possible ways of de-escalating the feud, that feud there, possible ways of having it de-escalate. You know, that explains why Uhuru must have attended this meeting, because, you know, when the DRC peace talks started, Ruto appointed Uhuru to steer that committee that was going to look into the issue of the peace talks in DRC. So then Uhuru honored that appointment and took that role and was involved in the de-escalation of the hostilities between the two countries, but it never materialized.
Significantly undermined the progress made between the year 2022 and 2023. The M23, once subject to a cease agreement, has now regained control over key towns, including Goma.
And then we saw SADC also get involved because DRC had approached SADC. Now that is why now you find that SADC is part of this talk. Initially it was an EAC talk, but SADC had to be joined in this matter because of the relationship between DRC, Congo, and South Africa. DRC wanted South Africa because Rwanda had threatened DRC. Because South Africa is powerful, South Africa ended up defending Rwanda. Ended up defending DRC. But again, we saw Trump make a move that was going to solve this problem once and for all. And Trump reached out to DRC. Now there's some kind of arrangement there to try to de-escalate that feud again. So that explains why there was this meeting, ladies and gentlemen.
May I request that we may now take our seats? Your Excellencies, with your permission, allow me to now welcome Andrea Arik, Deputy Secretary General, East Africa Community, to take over and guide the program. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, CGH, President of the Republic of Kenya, Chairperson of EAC Summit of Head of State, and Co-Chair of this meeting. Your Excellency, Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Chairperson of SADC, and Chair of this meeting, Excellencies, members of EAC SADC, panel of facilitators on the restoration of peace and stability in Eastern DRC. Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, former President of the Republic of Kenya, Excellency Makweste Masisi, former President of the Republic of Botswana, Excellency Catherine Samba Panza, former interim President of Central African Republic, Excellency Saleh Wak Zwade, former President of Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Your Excellencies, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Chairperson of AU Commission. Your Excellency, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, EGH, Prime Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Republic of Kenya. Excellency, Professor Amon Morire, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade.
So what do you think about this narrative being pushed around that Uhuru-Ruto reunite publicly for DRC peace talks? People are talking about this video. What do you think about it, ladies and gentlemen? Does it mean there was some kind of discussion? Did the president and the former president take advantage of that opportunity to try to talk politics? I don't think that is the case, ladies and gentlemen. But just go below in the comment section and tell us what you think about this romance between Ruto and Uhuru. Is it going to play out politically? So perhaps if you watch this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.